there booktube, it's Janet and I've got a book haul today. Yes, I know I've been doing lots of book haul lately. The last big massive ones were birthday book hauls and basically bought from around September to October onwards. These are what I got for Christmas. First of all, I've got the illustrated Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them by Newt Scamander, as known as J.K. Rowling, and this is illustrated by Olivia Lomanek-Gill, and it's got a beautiful bird on the front. I've been really enjoying the Harry Potter illustrated editions, and so I thought, well, keep that theme going, and there it is. Look, just look how beautiful it is. That was for Christmas, so I was very pleased to get that off my husband. Next, I've got The Loneliest Girl in the Universe by Lauren James. Lovely cover. Romy Silvers is the only surviving crew member on a spaceship bound for a new planet. She's the loneliest girl in the universe until she hears that a second spaceship has launched from Earth with a single passenger on board, a boy called Jay. Their only communication is via email, and the message takes months to transmit, yet Romy finds herself falling in love. But what does she really know about Jay? And what do the strange new messages from Earth mean? Sometimes there's something worse than being alone. This was one of my presents from Eleanor for Christmas, and that's Another Day in the Death of America. This is by Gary Young. I had this on my wish list for quite a while. I know a lot of people have read it, and it's basically a snapshot of gun crime in America on one particular day. Saturday the 23rd of November 2013. It was just another day in America, and as befits an unremarkable day, 10 children and teens were killed by gunfire. Far from being considered newsworthy, these everyday fatalities are simply a banal fact. The youngest was 9, the oldest 19. None made the news. There was no outrage at their passing. It was simply a day like any other day. Gary Young picked it at random, searched for the families of these children, and here tells their stories and explores the way they lived and lost their short lives. So I think it's a really important book. I've been really interested in this subject matter ever since I read We Need to Talk About Kevin by Lionel Shriver, which if you've not read, thoroughly recommend. It's a brilliant read. It's not going to be the most pleasant read, this one, but I think it's an important book and I am quite interested in it. Next, I got Adventures in Stationery, a journey through your pencil case by James Ward. I've wanted this for ages. If you're a true booktube book lover person, then you'll completely understand the stationery fetish that we all have, because it goes hand in hand with being a book lover. The history of things that we use for stationery. So, drawing on a lifetime's obsession, Adventures in Stationery is a tale of brilliant designs, accidental inventions and bitter rivalries. With pencil-sharp wit and an unrivaled knowledge of the stationery cupboard, James Ward introduces Steinbeck's favourite pencil, compares floaty and sculptural pens, and reflects on the humble hole punch. Along the way, he asks difficult questions. Who is Mr. Pritt? What does shatterproof resistant mean? And what are the thousands of uses Blue Tack claims? Written for anyone who's ever had a favourite pencil case or pondered the evolution of the desk organisers, Adventures in Stationery will change how you look at your desk. It's just such nerd heaven. Next, I've got Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng. And this is the author who wrote Little Fires Everywhere, so I put this on my wish list because I thought, well, she seems to be hot at the minute, no pun intended. Lydia is dead, but they don't know this yet. So begins this exquisite novel about a Chinese-American family living in 1970s small-town Ohio. Lydia is the favourite child of Marilyn and James Lee, and her parents are determined that she will fulfil the dreams they were unable to pursue. But when Lydia's body is found in the local lake, the delicate balancing act that has been keeping the Lee family together is destroyed, tumbling them all into chaos. So that might be a little bit, you know, like, what's it called? Susie Salmon one. What's it called? Oh, I can't think. I've also got The Young Elites by Marie Lu. Adelina Amutaru is a survivor of the blood fever, marked by a jagged scar where her left eye once was. Branded as a malfetto, an abomination, she is cast out from all she's ever known and loved. Adelina finds sanctuary with other malfettos and discovers that the disease has left her with more than just a scar. She has a mysterious and powerful gift. She is a young elite. But Adelina's ability is stronger than any young elite before her, and unless she can control the vengeful darkness growing in her heart, Adelina could be a danger to them all. I've got Moondust by Gemma Fowler. Look at the colour on that, isn't it beautiful? A miracle energy source, Lumite, has been discovered on the moon. The dark days of future Earth torn apart by war and energy crisis finally appear to be over. Aggie, the violet-eyed poster girl for the mining company Luna Inc., is persuaded to campaign for a hopeful new future. But a chance meeting with one of the prisoner miners, the darkly attractive Danny, changes her mind about everything she knows about her world. I think this one was also a present from Eleanor for Christmas, and this is The Words in My Hand by Guinevere Glassford. The Words in My Hand is a reimagined true story of Helena Jans, a Dutch maid in 17th century Amsterdam working for an English bookseller. A mysterious and reclusive lodger arrives, the Monsieur, who turns out to be René Descartes. At first encounter, the maid and the philosopher seem to have little in common, yet Helena yearns for knowledge and literacy, wanting to write so badly that she uses beetroot for ink and her body as paper. The philosopher, for all his learning, finds that it is Helena who reveals the surprise in the everyday world that surrounds him, as gradually their relationship deepens in a surprising story of love and learning. I got 2 graphic novels as well off my husband, and the first is volume 1 of Glitter Bomb. Farah Durante is a middle-aged actress hunting for her next gig in an industry where youth trumps experience. Her frustrations become an emotional lure for something horrifying out beyond the water, something ready to exact revenge on the shallow, celebrity-obsessed culture that's led her astray. The entertainment industry feeds on our insecurities, desires and fears. You can't toy with those kinds of primal emotions without them biting back. So that sounds like really good, a little bit like Sunset Boulevard. And then I also got Giant Days Volume 6, which I'm not going to read the back of because I've got a few more before this to read. I also got A Break with Charity, and this is a story about the Salem Witch Trials by Anne Rinaldi. I'm fascinated about anything to do with witchcraft. Susanna desperately wants to join the circle of girls who meet every week at the parsonage. What she doesn't realise is that the leader of the group, the malicious Anne Putnam, is about to set off a torrent of false accusations leading to the imprisonment and execution of countless innocent people. When Susanna puts the pieces together, she faces a painful choice. She can keep quiet and let the witch hunt panic continue, or she can break charity with the group and risk having her family named as witches. My son got me Milk and Honey by Rupi Kaur, and this is a poetry collection that he read and loved and thought I would too, so I thought that was really sweet. I know this has been a lot on BookTube. I think it's really highly regarded. I'm not the best with modern poetry. I'm fine with the old stuff. I do like, you know, the old traditional poems, the ones that, you know, like the Rudyard Kipling one, If. I love it. I do struggle with modern poetry, but my son loved it, so I will definitely read it. And obviously it's got bees on the front. And I love bees. My children also got me To Kill a Mockingbird, Cocktails with a Literary Twist, because they know I love books and reading, but I'm also a great lover of cocktails as well, so I might be making a few of these recipes. The children also got me some of the Ladybird books that are out for adults now, and How It Works, The Mum. Not read these yet, but apparently they were reading them in Waterstones and laughing their heads off, so I don't know whether I should be flattered or insulted. And also How It Works, The Cat, because I am a cat person. I'm not entirely sure if cats do work. They certainly don't work in our house. And on the cat theme, I also got How to Live Like Your Cat by Stephanie Garnier, and it's Let Your Cat Be Your Life Coach. And this is quite pertinent really, because I might have mentioned in a few of the other videos I've been doing lots of leadership courses lately, and a lot of that is about being self-aware. It's also about self-care, because if you don't look after yourself, you're ineffective in a lot of aspects of your life. So you had to choose a motto for how to improve, and I chose a cat, because I was looking at my cats and they're always happy. They always put themselves first. They know how to relax. They don't do stress. And so I chose that because that was completely opposite to the way that I felt my life was running. So I think this will definitely help me in 2018 to maybe adjust that balance so that, you know, I am feeling a little bit less stressed, a bit more time to myself, looking after myself a little bit more than I have been doing. My daughter Lorna got me another one in the Penguin Clothbound Classics. She's took it upon herself that I will have a full shelf of Penguin Clothbound Classics for my library, which I do not mind at all. And she bought me this time A Christmas Carol and Other Writings by Charles Dickens in the beautiful Penguin Clothbound edition, and it's absolutely gorgeous, beautiful book. So I think I'm getting one of these for Christmases, birthdays, Mother's Days, so that is just lovely and I'm thrilled with it. My husband got me 2 books in the Diabolic series, so I've got by S.J. Kincaid, so I've got the Diabolic and The Empress. I think this is books 1 and 2. I'm not sure if it's a duology or if there's going to be more. On the back of the Diabolic it says, Nemesis is a Diabolic, created to protect a galactic senator's daughter, Sidonia. The girl is as much a sister as a master. There's nothing Nemesis wouldn't do to keep her safe, but when the power-mad Emperor summons Sidonia to the galactic court as a hostage, there's only one way for Nemesis to protect Sidonia. She must become her. Hide her true abilities and pretend to be human. As the Empire begins to fracture and rebellion looms closer, Nemesis learns that there is something stronger than her deadly force, the one thing she's been told she doesn't have, humanity. And amidst all the danger, action and intrigue, that might have been the only thing that can save her, Sidonia and the entire empire. I also got The Fact of a Body, A Murder and a Memoir by Alexandria Marzano-Lesnevich. This is the gripping true story of a young law student, an unspeakable crime and a past that refuses to stay buried. When Alexandra Marzano-Lesnevich begins a summer job at a law firm in Louisiana working for the retrial defence of a death row convicted murderer and child molester Ricky Langley, she is staunchly anti-death penalty, but as soon as she watches footage of Ricky talking about his crimes, she has a shocking realisation: she wants him to die. As Alexandria pores over the facts of the murder, delving deeper and deeper into Ricky's difficult and unhappy childhood, she's also forced to face her own story, to unearth long-buried family secrets, to reckon with how her own past colours her view of his crime. The Fact of a Body is a heart-stopping account of how crime, even the darkest and most appalling acts, can happen to any one of us. It's also proof that the truth, and how we reveal it, is more complicated and powerful than we could ever imagine. So I'm really keen to read that one. I also got Hunger by Roxane Gay, and this is a memoir of my body. In this intimate and searing memoir, the New York Times best-selling author Roxane Gay addresses the experience of living in a body that she calls wildly undisciplined. She casts an insightful and critical eye over her childhood, teens and 20s, including the devastating acts of violence that was a turning point in her young life, and brings readers into the present and the realities, pains and joys in her daily life. With the bracing candour, vulnerability and authority that have made her one of the most admired voices of her generation, Roxane explores what it means to be overweight in a time when the bigger you are, the less you are seen. Hunger is a deeply personal memoir from one of our finest writers, and it tells a story that hasn't yet been told but needs to be. And finally, I'm just going to show you my December Fairy Loot book, and that is Everless by Sarah Holland. And in the land of Sempera, in the rich control everything, even time. Ever since the age of alchemy and sorcery, hours, days and years have been extracted from blood and bound to iron coins. The rich live for centuries, the poor bleed themselves dry. Jules and her father are behind on their rent and low on hours. To stop him from draining himself to clear their debts, Jules takes a job at Everless, the grand estate of the cruel Girling family. There, Jules encounters danger and temptation in the guise of the Girling heir Roan, who is soon to be married. But the web of secrets at Everless stretches beyond her desire. The truth she must uncover will change her life forever and possibly the future of time itself. I'll just show you the end papers in this book. It's kind of like... It is a bit reminiscent of Blood Cells, but yeah, absolutely beautiful. So that is what I got for Christmas. So let me know what you got for Christmas, if you read any of these, if you recommend any that I should start with first. I will see you all soon, BookTube. Keep reading. Bye!